downstairs with the cats this morning, and we are going to talk about everything that I've canned my first year learning. We're in the basement and we've been working on cleaning the whole mess up. This is kind of the room that we dumped like all of our boxes in when we moved in, so we're slowly working through them because we hadn't seen any of that stuff in like 2 years. So we actually have to go through like each box and decide what we want to donate, which honestly is like a lot of it. It's just stuff we don't really need. We're gonna go through everything that I canned this first year, and also probably everything I tried to like preserve in general. It's just like a few other things. I didn't really do much else because I was learning how to can for the first time this year. So I didn't do a ton, but I feel like I did a lot more than I thought I would. And then I'm also going to take you through everything that I'm like hoping to get to this year for canning and some other fun preserving projects that I'm looking to do. About the lighting down here also, last night we got a second shelf, which you'll see here, and I'll show you putting that up last night. Also, Marta and I went to IKEA yesterday and I have like a mini haul for you guys. I got some fun stuff that I have been looking for like a really long time that they haven't had in stock at our IKEA in Metro Detroit. So let's do that first. Okay, I put on a hat because it's cold down here. Let's get into everything that I got at IKEA, which is not very many things, surprisingly. I usually end up with a lot more things from there than I need, but this time we did pretty well. So I just got 2 more of these little produce bags because I'm expecting to have to pull a lot of produce and store a lot of produce from the garden this year, and hoping to be able to go to the farmers market here a lot more and support local for things that we can't grow ourselves. The second thing, and the most favorite thing that I got, because actually, you know what, this is the second most favorite thing that I got. It's the thing I've been waiting the second most long for. We got these jars. So I got 6 of these, the other 4 are up there. These have not been in stock at IKEA any single time that I've gone. These freaking jars are like the cheapest jars you can buy for like the size that you can get. I have some of the like really tall ones, they're like this double height. They're like $3, and I feel like you can't find any other jars for that price anywhere else. I've not had luck with it, and if you have, please share with me because I would love to get more for more dry storage, but I've been waiting like 2 years to find these and they haven't had them in stock. The third thing that I got was a couple of just simple indoor doormats for our 2 entryways. I just brought the one down here, the other one's at our front door, but right now we just have carpet scraps from when they left a bunch of carpet scraps from when they installed the carpet down in the basement here. So I got some of these because they look a lot cuter than carpet scraps. Now this is what I'm the most excited about. I have wanted one of these soccer IKEA greenhouses. Not once since I have been to an IKEA in the last 5 years have they had these in stock. And they finally did today. So Marta and I both got one, and then we also got one for our other friend Kate. I am so excited. I don't know what to put in it though. I have so many little plants. If you guys have one of these, or if you have like best suggestions for what to put into them, I would appreciate it. I will definitely show you if I make it into like a little terrarium type thing, but I'm very happy about this. Now for the main event of this video. We're going to go over what I preserved this whole past year, and by past year I mean since like late July, because that was like the first thing I preserved. I would say it was in late July. The first thing I preserved canning wise ever was these peaches, and this has been so freaking good, like so good to add into like yogurt and just as like a lunch snack on the side. Yeah, we did 8 jars of these. I did some of them cinnamon, some of them regular peaches, and like really light syrup. And then I also made cinnamon peach syrup from the scraps and regular peach syrup from the scraps. I did a second round of peaches, so I think overall I probably had like 16 quarts of peaches that I preserved, and then probably around like 1 quart, 2 quarts of syrup, but in smaller jars. And the second thing I did, which is the only thing I've pressure canned so far, is I did 8 pints of sweet corn. So sweet corn is like one of my favorite things, and I'm very happy about these. I'm rationing them. The next thing we did, and we did probably the most of, was I think 15 quarts of applesauce, and honestly I will probably try and double that next year. We got 1 bushel of apples and we did 15 quarts of sauce with it. Pie filling, we also did like 10 quarts of this with it. I also don't have any of them left because I used them all up in the fall, but I with the apples that we got in the bushel, we used some of the scraps and everything to make cinnamon apple syrup for coffee. That was absolutely delicious. I will be doing that every year. The thing that I did was, overall we ended up doing about 4 quarts of this chai syrup, and like I occasionally enjoy having a homemade chai. I'm obsessed with Starbucks chai lattes, and I would love to change that and be able to make those at home without having to buy like the box of chai liquid. So this is Kate Schatz's chai recipe, venison for dinner's chai recipe. So we did just about like 4 or 5 quarts of pears because we just wanted to kind of see how it would work. We're just testing things out at this point, so we didn't do a ton of them because we didn't know if we'd like them. So I did some with like light syrup, some with medium-ish syrup, and then some with just water, just to kind of test out and see what we like. We wanted to test out making corncob jelly, so I did some of this. I probably honestly won't eat all of it. I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not. I'm kind of scared to try it. I've been told it tastes like honey. We'll see. We have like 7 half pints of that. More peach syrup. This is Christmas jam, and I probably did about like 12 half pints of Christmas jam because I gave a lot of away for Christmas to my friends and family. This is absolutely delicious. It's like a cranberry, strawberry, and orange with like Christmassy spices like cinnamon and clove and that kind of stuff. It's so good. And then as you can see, we did a lot, all of this behind here, oops, this whole like section down here, this is all cranberry juice. But yes, we like cranberry juice. So I made a bunch of this, and with the leftover cranberries, I'll probably attempt to make cranberry sauce. So we've actually eaten like a lot of our stuff so far. Most of it is gone already, so that's why it doesn't look like a ton. But some of the things that we preserved that weren't just canning, I'll go through those really quick too. Off of 1 chili pepper plant, which we've saved the last couple of years and went indoors for winter, we got probably about a quart and a half of dried like dehydrated chili peppers out of that. So we'll crush those up and make them into, I saved a lot of herbs from the garden. I only had a few this year. I did like thyme, rosemary, and a few others like mint and stuff. We did a lot of catnip. I have so much catnip. All of these little, I don't know if you can see those. I have these bags of dried herbs that I need to go through and like crush up still or add to like jars for tea. I was able to save seeds from calendula, bee balm, nasturtiums, that kind of stuff to plant this year in our new house. And I think probably like one of the last things, I saved a few handfuls of strawberries out of our garden. I just ate most of them, but some of them are in the freezer and I throw them into smoothies occasionally. The last thing that we like really tried to preserve this year was chives and green onions, because that was probably the most prolific thing in our garden besides flowers this past year, since we just had like a little garden. So chives and green onions, we have so many of those, and I am going to try and save a lot more this year, and then I can make my own like onion powder from them. Okay, so lastly, let's just get into everything that I'm going to try and preserve this year. And it's kind of a lot. It's lofty goals for just doing this kind of by myself. I'm gonna try and get Taylor to help me a little bit and learn, like teach him about how to do it and just like let him learn how it works. The first main goal was strawberry jam, and if you're a close friend, you kind of know the inside story on why I want to preserve strawberry jam this year. Strawberry jam is probably like my favorite thing. Strawberry is my favorite fruit, and I've been missing that this year, so definitely gonna preserve. Miss Peanut, Miss Peanut, come here. Definitely gonna preserve a lot of strawberry jam. And then also we just want to do like raspberry jam, blueberry jam, and some blueberry syrup because we like blueberry syrup on French toast and pancakes. Taylor's favorite jam is raspberry jam, mine's strawberry. We're dueling on that. Probably do some blueberry pie filling because I've not had a blueberry pie in forever and that sounds delicious. I might try and do some like just preserved strawberries as well to do the same thing as like a strawberry pie, maybe strawberry rhubarb. I want to do more apple pie filling because I would like to do apple pies as gifts for like Christmas and stuff this year. My family and Taylor's family really like those. So hoping to give away pies for Christmas with like homemade crust and everything. I would like to try apple butter because I really love apple butter, but I only want it occasionally, so I just want to do like a little bit. Definitely more applesauce. I already said that. We love applesauce, and like we could easily each go through a quart of applesauce a week if we had enough of it. So I'm gonna try and do a lot more. And then also we want to try and do some red sauces. So regular old tomato sauce that's like pretty neutral flavored, maybe like a little bit of garlic, a little bit of onion, that kind of stuff in it, so that we can just use that for like pasta sauce. We can use it if we need it in like chili and that kind of stuff. We want to try and do a lot of that because we use a lot of red sauce, and also with that diced tomatoes. We use a lot of diced tomatoes, red sauce. I want to do a little bit of pizza sauce and a little bit of sloppy joe sauce because I only ever want sloppy joes like 2 or 3 times a year, if that. So I just want to do like a little bit so I don't have to buy manwich. And then pizza sauce, we love making our own pizzas. We've kind of gotten this like crispy thin crust perfect pizza down, and it's so good, and I would love to not have to buy the sauce from the store. Lots more corn. We would like to do some different salsas. If you have like a favorite canned salsa recipe, please share it with me. I have nowhere to start trying to find these other than like Pinterest and maybe the blue book of like ball canning. We want to try some different kinds because we're kind of picky about our salsa. Like we really like fresh pico, and also just restaurant salsa, like the salsa you get at Mexican restaurants when they give you like the hot chips and everything with it. We're really picky about it though. I don't love spicy stuff. He does. So we want to try like a good variety of them this year and then kind of nail down a couple that we really like so we can make more of those next year. Because we have salsa on, we make barbecue pulled jackfruit nachos, and just like we have a lot of tacos and like huevos rancheros and that kind of stuff. So having a good salsa to like crack open and not have to spend a half hour chopping vegetables every single time would be wonderful. Green beans, I would love to be able to just open a can of like homemade, homegrown green beans and pour them into our soups. And we also have a lot of green beans on the side of our meals as like our veggie side. Squirrel, what are you doing? We want to do dill pickles and dill relish. I would like to do just a couple jars of sweet pickles because again, it's one of those things that I crave a couple times a year and I don't need a ton of them. Bread and butter pickles are something that I could eat on literally a daily basis. I love bread and butter pickles more than most things. Taylor requested that we do spicy dill, like a spicy dill garlic chili pepper pickle. That's hard to say. Spicy dill and garlic like chili pepper pickle. That's gonna be all him because I don't like spicy things. I would like to try and do like diced squash and pumpkin because I love butternut squash, and I'll probably freeze some of that too so that I can make quick soups and stuff out of it. These are some adventurous things that I've not tried before that I would like to try like a couple jars of, if that. Pickled radish. I love radishes, but I have no clue how to keep them like crisp and fresh for like a long time, and if there's any like way to do that for long-term storage, please help me and let me know. I would appreciate that. I don't really know anything about them. I just started liking them this past year. So same with cabbage. I don't really like cabbage. I'm growing a couple of them to see if I like them, and like we want to try doing like some sort of like homemade sauerkraut or coleslaw, that kind of thing. Not a huge fan of like store-bought ones though, so we're just doing a couple to try it, and if we like it in the future we can grow more. Again, if you have recipes for those types of things, how to use them, please let me know. And also, I just want to say, they won't go to waste if we don't like them. I will give them to my friends who do like them. I think it would be fun to try some diced potatoes, which have to be pressure canned, I know, so we're gonna do that. Grape juice, that just sounds fun. I would like to try and figure out how to do like a vegetable bouillon, I don't know how to say it. I'd like to try and do that instead of having cans and cans, jars and jars of vegetable broth, because that's just really annoying to me and I feel like it's a waste of drawer space, honestly. Frozen berries. We want to try doing freezer hash browns. I think it would be fun to try and can mandarin oranges once winter comes around again. I'm growing a little bit of edamame, and I think it would be cool to like blanch that and freeze it for just quick edamame snacks with a lot of our Asian dishes. We're growing onions, shallots, and garlic, and I am gonna try and grow like a couple of things of potatoes just for fun. I'm gonna try growing some carrots. We'll see if we can keep those in storage for a while. And some freezer snap peas, just kind of like we want to do with the edamame. Maybe a little bit of popcorn, frozen broccoli, and then obviously catnip. The cats are obsessed with their fresh catnip. I want to try and start harvesting some medicinal herbs. I've gotten a lot of those to grow this year, so we'll see if that works. And some of them might not grow until next year, like where we can harvest them, but we're gonna start working towards that. Some of the edible flowers that I'm growing, like nasturtiums and stuff, so that I can dry them and use them in tea, like tea blends, just to add like a pretty factor, a beauty factor. A lot of what I'm doing is just because it's pretty. It makes me happy. So, and then I think one of the main goals is the last one, and it's keeping up on pruning and drying all of my herbs. So I have a lot of herbs, but they're a lot smaller than like the fully established ones, and a lot of the ones here in Michigan aren't perennial. So I really want to try and keep up on pruning those and drying them so that they can get nice and big and bushy and we can get a lot of herbs out of them. That is it. That's the cats. Be nice. That is all I have for you today. I know that was probably a lot again. I need to learn how to make these videos shorter. I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people do less than 10 minutes. Yeah, that's everything I am preserving next year, hoping to preserve next year. It's everything that I did preserve this past year, and I'm gonna go fill these jars up now. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and let your friends know. You can follow me on Instagram at the Calico and the Cow. Thank you for watching. We're happy to have you here. Moo's mad that I'm holding him right now, but we appreciate your views, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.